Welcome into another edition of the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com. I'm Tom Leach, along with Keeneland's Director of Simulcasting, Jim Goodman. And the first thing we can do is brag on one of our selections from last week. One was good enough to make it a good weekend because the horse Jim liked and the horse I liked, they ran 1-2 in I think it was the San Marcos at Santa Anita for a huge exacta and trifecta. You had Vagabond Shoes, and then I had Sea Sage, a big price that got nipped on the wire for second.
Yeah, I had the easy one, and you had the hard one, but that's okay. Vagabond Shoes looked awfully good, and the exacta, I think, paid over $150, and the tri paid $375 for $1. So
you can't beat that. Hopefully that helped you guys a little bit last week, and also see if we had anything else. I'm just flipping through my notes here. I don't think I had anything else. I tell you, Candy Boy was a nice winner, though, in the Robert B. Lewis. Looks like he's got a nice future.
He was, and I think we also talked, although we both like Will Take Charge in the Don, we both like Lee. And that was a nice exacta with Lee on top, and he looked very, very impressive. Indeed.
That horse is going to have a nice future this year for the folks at Claiborne and Adele Dill-Schneider. Well, let's go on to this week's stakes races. And a couple of these could be impacted by the weather moving up the East Coast, so take your chances. We'll start with one that could. The 8th race at Aqueduct on Saturday is the Stymie for 3-year-olds and up at a mile and an eighth. Percussion, I'm guessing, might go favorite here off a big 106 buyer, which I didn't really trust for a 6-year-old. Just got an easy lead, went wire to wire with a slow pace, and so I'm going to be skeptical of that number, which was well above what he's done previously. And I ended up going with Mail, who's a 4-year-old, steadily improving, coming off a little layoff, but Chad Brown's very good off layoffs. So I'm going with Mail, the younger horse here, and I'll key him in exactas with Percussion, Don Dolce the 4, and 5 Jonesy Boy, a horse that was good to me in the past. What about you?
Exactly the same. I think you can't trust Percussion. A 24-point buyer jump just doesn't look right. So even though I'm sure the numbers are probably correct, he's probably going to bounce off that. So I would take a stand against him. Jonesy Boy and Don Dolce have beaten him pretty easily at a mile and eighth back on December 14th. This was a mile and 16th race. So I'm going to go with Mail on top of Jonesy Boy. I think he'll like the mile and eighth a lot. But Mail lost to Long River on October 25th. He's won 2 in a row since then. Long River beat Percussion really easily last time out. So I'm going to think Mail is a good choice there. So we're in the same horse.
Let's go to Gulfstream Park. A couple of stakes races there. Their 8th race is the Grade 3, the Very One. Basically the same race, one for the boys, one for the girls. This is for the ladies, fillies and bears 4 and up at a mile and 3/8 on the turf. And thought a pretty well-matched group. You have the horse that won the Dowager last fall, Preferential, and the horse that ran a close second to her left a message in this field. Who did you go with?
I went with Preferential. I thought that race in the Dowager was very impressive. Belmont gets them ready off the layoff. She put back-to-back 93s together at Kentucky Downs and Keeneland, and I think she's probably good enough to take this field, although it's very competitive. I liked Inimitable Romani, and that's very hard for me to say. Off the Long Island race at Aqueduct, she kind of did something different. She got the lead, but if you look at the splits, 53-3 for the half and 123 for 6 furlongs. So that was a bog up there. So I think you can take that with a grain of salt. But she's probably good enough to compete here. The other horse that I liked was Egg Marine with Christophe Clement, 1 for 2 at Gulfstream. Ran behind Starformer last year on a soft turf at Aqueduct. I think she's got a shot off a layoff from November or so. But I think the horse coming out of Keeneland, Preferential, is my choice.
I'm going to try to be – I think she's the one to beat. I'm going to try to beat her with Ag Marine. And part of the reason your favorite rider, Joel Rosario, is in the saddle on a horse that's 6-1 for Christophe Clement. And that's an attractive combo for me here. Clement excels off a layoff. This horse won at Gulfstream last winter, then didn't run so well next time out coming out of that allowance win. Maybe just wasn't good enough. Maybe there was some kind of physical problem because she didn't run again until the fall and then didn't run great, and now another layoff. So looks like she's working well. If there was some kind of physical issue, then maybe they've got her right, and if so, her best would be good enough to give her a shot in here. And I'll settle for that at something close to 6-1. So Ag Marine for me, and then I'll use key her in exactas with Left a Message, Preferential, and maybe one with Anjaz the 7 as well. 10th race is The Grade 2 MacDiarmida, 4-year-olds and up, the boys going 1 3/8 on the turf. I went with Amen Kitten, the 7 in here. He's won at Gulfstream. He's a 4-year-old, so I think there's maybe some upside still left. His last race was in a Grade 1, the Hollywood Derby, restricted to 3-year-olds, but a tough race. And he improved significantly in his Beyer off a little bit of a layoff. And if there's still some upside to tap into, then maybe another move forward could be there off this layoff, and he could beat some elders who have maybe a little bit of a class edge on him. So Amen Kitten to win for me, for the Ramseys. And then key him in exactas. I'll use with him Twilight Eclipse, the 6, Slumber, the 4, and the 1 Sun Tracer. What about you?
I went with Twilight Eclipse based on the back class. He's coming out of 5 straight Grade 1s, and he's very competitive in the Sword Dancer. Just got beat by Big Blue Kitten. He ran behind Little Mike in the Turf Classic and the Breeders' Cup Turf. He was only 2 lengths behind the Fugue. And so, the company that he's kept, I think he's probably going to be the favorite here. I could, Amen Kitten does have some upside. The one that intrigues me a little bit is Alpha. First time on the turf. I mean, it's a Grade 1 winner on the dirt, and they're going to try something different because he kind of tailed off at the end of last year in the Jockey Club Gold Cup and the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. And so they're going to try something different. McLaughlin's a great trainer, so it might work out. Bernardini on the turf, who knows? Slumber was the other horse I liked here with Johnny V, second off layoff, has faced much better. So that might be a price for Bill Mott and Johnny Velasquez, which you don't get very often.
Let's go to Laurel. Their 9th race on Saturdays, the Grade 2 Barbara Fritchie, fillies and mares 3 and up, going 7 furlongs in here. How'd you see this one?
Well, you'd like to pull for Winning Image. Winning Image is 12 for 26 lifetime, and they've announced this is going to be her last race. But she needs the lead. So I thought it may set up as a speed duel between the 6 Winning Image and the 4 La Verdad. She's moving way up in class off 5 straight wins. So I went with those 2 to beat each other up, and Centrique is my choice. I love Marty Wolfson. He puts his horses where they're supposed to be. She's 2 for 3 at the distance. She should move forward after that tightener on January 29th. She's got some back class, and I think Centrique is a really good bet in this race to run these 2 pace setters down on the wire.
Yep, I like that one too. I like the 10 wins overall, 2 for 3 at 7 furlongs, and it looked to me like there's a good bit of speed in here, and she didn't have to, she's got speed, but she doesn't have to have the lead, and she's shown an ability to pass some horses, and I like Centrique in here as well. I'm going to use her in exactas, better to win, use her in exactas with the 2 Fillet and the 7 Flattering Bee. Just I thought was a decent price play because she'll be running late in the field with a lot of speed. And finally, we're going to take a look at a Derby prep, and this one's out at Golden Gate Fields on the Tapeta surface. It's the El Camino Real Derby for 3-year-olds at 1 1/8. And this is a race that has sent some horses to the Derby before. Can't remember if it's produced a winner or not, but probably get might end up with a Derby starter or 2 out of here. How'd you see this one?
This one was a little tougher than the last one. I'm going to go with Enterprising. Tom Proctor, Gary Stevens comes north to ride him. He looks like he's got the best positional speed in the race and could dictate the pace. I couldn't find somebody else in here who is really going to challenge the lead. So I think Gary may put him on the lead and possibly go wire to wire. He really ran well at Golden Gate in the Cal Derby, just got beat by exit stage left by half a length. Moving up in Byers, 81, 83, 85. It's a nice little progression and seems that he's moving forward. The other horses, Aaron Grider lands on the 8, Dance with Fate, and he rode he rode a different horse last time out. He and Bejarano, I think, are switching. I've got my notes here that he rode the Enterprising last out, so he gets second choice. I'm sure they picked Gary Stevens over Aaron Grider. That's kind of a no-brainer. But Aaron Grider winds up with a shot for Peter Urton on the outside with Dance with Fate. The horse got much better last time at Santa Anita, switching to the turf, comes back to the synthetic where he started his career. And then Tamorando, I think Tamorando just needs somebody to go with Enterprising. Ought to like to stretch out to 1/8, so he's got a shot because he's got the best closing kick. So I'm going to do a little exacta with Enterprising and Tamorando, hoping it goes the way I said with the Enterprising taking the lead.
I'm going to go with Dance with Fate. I didn't see a whole lot of speed in here. I thought maybe they could just shoot to the front from the outside and try to seize the lead. And first off a layoff, this horse showed some big improvement that you mentioned there, Santa Anita. So maybe getting good. And I'm going to take a shot with Dance with Fate just because in part I'll get a nice price. I'll use Enterprising, Tamorando, the two you mentioned, and Craftsman also in Exactas with Dancing with Fate or Dance with Fate as the key horse. So those are some of the big races on the Saturday cards around the country. On Sunday, you've got a couple of graded stakes, including a Derby prep, the San Vicente at Santa Anita, also the Sabine at Gulfstream, and then a couple of stakes on Monday, including another Derby prep, the Southwest at Oaklawn, and also the Buena Vista at Santa Anita. I think I read this week, Jim, that Honor Code might show up in the Southwest.
Yeah, it could be a great race. Hopefully the weather holds out in Oaklawn. They've had to cancel all week, but they are running on Thursday as we're recording this. So hopefully they're going to have a big weekend down there. That could be a really nice race.
Well, we'll do a special second podcast for the Sunday and Monday card, and that'll be up a little bit later the next day or two here at KeenelandSelect.com. Best of luck this weekend with all of your picks.